everyone, welcome back to Jackie O's Story Corner. Are you ready for today's story? This one's called Don't Touch the Trifle, Timothy Bear, and it's by Brian Sears, with illustrations by Gregory. It was the day before Teresa's birthday. Timothy had just watched Mum make a special trifle for her party. She had put fruit at the bottom, a layer of sponge next, some jelly in the middle, and pink blancmange poured on the top. Then Mum put the trifle to set on the top shelf of the fridge. "It looks delicious," Timothy said. Then it was time for Mum to take Teresa out shopping for a new party dress. "We won't be long," Mum said. "Help yourself to a drink and a biscuit, but don't touch the trifle." Timothy hadn't been left on his own indoors before. He went happily upstairs to his room and started to play with his action bear. It wasn't long before Timothy tired of playing on his own and reckoned he was hungry. He went from his room on the landing and, as he was on his own, he decided to slide down the banister. Whee! Bump! He landed on his bare bottom. He went into the kitchen and ate his biscuit. It was easy to check that the trifle was safe on its shelf. Yes, everything was in order. "Don't touch the trifle, Timothy Bear," echoed his mum's voice inside his head. Back in his bedroom, his train set only kept his interest for a while when he thought he felt thirsty. Again he mounted the banister. Whee! Bump! Once more he was on his bare bottom. This time he checked up on the trifle first. It seemed all right, but perhaps he should take a closer look. "Don't touch the trifle, Timothy Bear." Timothy dragged a stool to the fridge and climbed up. The stool was just the right height. "Don't touch the trifle, Timothy Bear." His eyes were level with the trifle. The jelly looked set, but what about the blancmange? Perhaps he should get the trifle onto the kitchen table for a closer inspection. Yes, he'd do that. Mum had said not to touch the trifle. It would be all right to lift the bowl down, wouldn't it? Timothy climbed carefully down from the stool. He did wobble a bit, and the blancmange wobbled with him. It wasn't set, but the whole trifle looked fine on the table. Unfortunately, a plan was starting to form in Timothy's head. It would need a spoon to put it into operation, and Timothy found one in the drawer. He lifted out a spoonful of blancmange. The rest of the blancmange was still runny enough that it covered it back over. You couldn't tell there was a spoonful missing. Mum had said, "Don't touch the trifle." But she would never know, so it wouldn't matter, would it? The blancmange was truly delicious, and if it worked for one spoonful, surely it would work for more. Several spoonfuls later, the overconfident, careless Timothy dug his spoon into the layer of jelly, which certainly was set. None of the other jelly came to fill up the jagged hole. Only a little pink blancmange dribbled into the jelly crater. Timothy felt miserable. Could he blame anyone else? Could he make it all better again? He didn't even put the trifle back on its shelf. He forgot all about having a drink. He dawdled to the stairs and slowly started to mount them one by one. Even the banister had lost its appeal. Dismally, he sat on his bed. It wasn't long before he heard the key unlocking the front door. Teresa's excited voice floated about the house. Then Mum's stern voice. "Timothy!" Timothy dragged himself back downstairs. Mum and Bear Cub faced each other across the kitchen with the evidence of what had been going on between them. That story was clearly written on Timothy's sad face. "Get straight to your room, get into bed, and stay there until Dad comes home." Although it was only 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that is what happened. It was a quiet house. Even Teresa had lost her bounce. It was getting dark when Mr. and Mrs. Bear made their way to Timothy's room. Timothy had had time to sort himself out a bit. "I'm really, really sorry," he began, as he poured out how it had all happened. "But how do we know you're really, really sorry?" wondered Dad. A tear escaped from Timothy's eye and exploded on the duvet, to be followed by several more. Dad nodded to Mum. All right, said Mum. We can see you're really sorry. I'll get you up early tomorrow and you can help me make a new trifle. Teresa, in the end, had a great birthday. All her friends enjoyed the tea Mrs. Bear had made for them, and the special trifle tasted as delicious as it had looked. Oh yes, Timothy enjoyed it too. He was even allowed a second helping. Thank you so much for joining me at Jackie O's Story Corner. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.